Welcome to 7 Pot Club. I'm Rob. On today's agenda, planting hot pepper seeds, transplanting seedlings, new Sansi grow lights, and new music.
I grow hot peppers.
This attic space used to be my music studio, but now it's a plant nursery. I'll tell you all about it later in the video. Today's shout out is to Jordan from Canada and his adorable daughter Liana. Here she is singing our jingle.
I grow hot peppers.
Kat and I plotzed when we saw this. Jordan's channel is called Rome Travel Show, and I'll include a link in the video description. It's been a few weeks since the last episode, and a lot's been happening here at the 7 Pot Clubhouse. There's a ton of info and entertainment jam-packed into this installment, so let's get started. I'm going to kick things off with a new song that many of you have been asking for, at least those of you who like my music. Have a look and listen, and then we'll get down to serious business.
You've been sleeping for a long, long time. Hey, hey, honey, time to come alive. Welcome to your new home, isn't it, choice? Buried in a cell where it's warm and moist. Time to emerge, to live, rejoice, or slumber through eternity if that's your choice. You have a function, a purpose, a mission, so break out of your shell and show me some ambition. If you've got what it takes to be a super hot superstar, toss me in an envelope, put me in a cabinet, germinate on your command, I'm not sure I'm having it. Now I'm in a new home, it feels temporary. Is it really safe to sprout? It's actually kinda scary. Am I inside or outside? I can't really tell. I was buried dead, but I'm now alive and well. I do have a function, a purpose, a mission, heading for the light, cause I found my ambition. I was born to grow. Scoville Scalay. Now I'm finally in the mix with all my brothers and sisters. Coming out of my shell, I'm finally in the mix. Now I'm finally in the mix with all my brothers and sisters. I will grow tall and strong. I'm finally in the
I edit and publish my videos in 4K Ultra HD, and all those Robs brought down my powerful computer to its knees while I was building that sequence. If you enjoyed In the Mix, stay tuned because there will be a reprise near the end of the video. Now, on to planting. This is my third annual Planting Day video, and you can check out the videos from previous years if you want the complete details. Today, I'm just going to cover the highlights. An exciting journey often starts with a mundane task. In this case, washing the seedling trays. Once everything is in order, it's time to begin planting. I've got everything laid out on the dining room table, protected by a remarkably garish watermelon-themed chintz tablecloth. I used the Excel templates I created last year to make up charts for each of the 3 trays I'm planting. These show both the variety and the seed source and match the layout of the trays. I'll include a link to download these templates in the description and also on our website. There's no seed shortage here. I've got newly purchased seeds, seeds from past years, and also seeds sent to me from Chile friends in the US, Australia, Panama, and the Philippines. No, I'm not drinking liqueur while planting. I've had better luck getting ricotta seeds to germinate if I soak them in diluted black tea for a day or two prior to planting. My go-to potting soil is Pro Mix Ultimate Organic Mix. Last year, I thought the consistency was a little coarse for seed starting, so I'm mixing it with some organic seed starting mix. So why am I scooping in the potting mix? When I'm using the dining room table for an inappropriate task like transferring dirt from a bag to a tray, my rule is to always scoop if the bag is less than half full. Then it's probably safe to pour. But I'm sure your significant other will really appreciate it if you vacuum when you're all finished. When you use this type of seed starting mix, don't forget to add water before you plant. Otherwise, water may not be absorbed properly post-planting and will actually pool on the surface if you water from the top. Finally, preparations are complete and the planting begins. Mr. Short Attention Span has learned from experience to add seeds to each cell in the tray, then bury them. This deters the inattentive gardener from double planting any of the cells. 1 down, 35 to go. It was a late night. Finally, they're all planted. I brought them up to my office to rest upon the heat mats I had already put in place. Then I added water and covered them with these new domes from Bootstrap Farmer, the same folks who supply my favorite extra sturdy plant trays. They fit perfectly, and I love the extra height and adjustable vents. These should last for many seasons. I just wish they were sold in quantities less than 5. Okay, seeds, time to wake up. Let's check out the lighting. If you have any microphone boom stands lying around, they make great adjustable supports for hanging grow lights. These are the same model Sansi 70-watt LED grow lights I reviewed last summer. I love these lights. They're silent, bright, have a pleasing daylight color, and don't use much electricity. A few days later, it was exactly a month since I started seeds in the AeroGarden, shown in our previous video. These plants are growing very quickly and are getting way too big to be jammed so closely together. Time for them to be in the mix. Last season, I felt the seedlings were lacking in both calcium and magnesium, so I'm going to be proactive and add some CalMag to the water I'll use while transplanting. I'm not at the dining room table, and the bag is only half full, so I'll go ahead and pour the potting mix. Then I add a little extra perlite. Look at the dust. I'm going to start using a mask when I do this because perlite is made from shards of volcanic glass and not too kind to the lungs. I'm trying out these non-woven fabric seedling grow bags for the first time. Since I can't use tape to attach the labels, I've made some fold-over labels that can be stapled onto the rim of the bag. I've put tape over them to repel water. I'm hoping to make a separate in-depth video about these bags. It's hard to know exactly what size to buy based on the dimensions provided in Amazon listings. This size is just about right for these plants. I'd say they hold about twice as much soil as the 3.5-inch pots I usually use. Adding soil to these bags is kind of like filling paper lawn bags with yard waste. You need to make sure they're fully expanded and get the soil into every nook and cranny. The roots on these plants are very long from being started in the AeroGarden, so I just add a little soil at first and then build it up around the plant. That worked out pretty well, and of course I got better at it as I went along. I was amazed how much root growth many of these plants had achieved just a few weeks since germinating. And I forgot to mention that the AeroGarden seed sponges are made from peat moss, so there's no problem planting them in soil. All in all, this was a pleasant way to spend a Sunday evening, and soon the work was completed. 9 days later, the plants are looking great. There was never a sign of transplant shock. Now, let's take a look at the new attic setup. It's great to have this space freed up for growing. I wasn't sure how to hang the lights. I didn't want to buy anything for this temporary purpose. I have 2 stands and an expandable crossbar that I use for supporting paper and cloth backdrops for photo and video. The crossbar extended just far enough to straddle 2 4-foot-long tables. These folding tables may come in handy at this year's neighborhood plant sale. Hanging from the crossbar are 4 of the new Sansi 60-watt LED grow lights. I liked the 70-watt Sansi light so much, I asked Sansi if they would supply all the lighting for this year's seedlings, and they graciously agreed. These lights have the same number of lighting elements as the 70-watt version, but arranged differently, on 4 extensions hinged at the center. Unlike the 70-watt version, the 60-watt doesn't have a built-in power supply or power cord. Instead, it screws into a standard light bulb socket. I found a hanging light cord on Amazon with 4 sockets and switches attached to a single plug, and it was perfect for the task. I attached the sockets to the crossbar with cable ties. I was worried the crossbar couldn't safely support this much weight, so I screwed a small eyelet into the ceiling and lashed the center of the crossbar to it with cable ties for additional support. Like my basement and office setups, the lights are plugged into a smart switch that turns them on and off on a timed schedule.
It can also be voice controlled by our Echo devices, or anywhere around the world using the Wink app on our smartphones. The cats like to lounge in the attic, and I thought they would be bothered by the lights, but they don't seem to mind at all. Let's check back in on the seeds we planted in dirt. After 2 weeks, most of them have sprouted, still waiting on a few stragglers. Before you know it, they'll be ready for transplanting too. And as always, I'm ready and willing to provide help when a seedling has a little trouble shedding its hull.
Now I'm finally in the mix with all my brothers and sisters coming out of my shell. I'm finally in the mix. Now I'm finally in the mix. I was born to be spicy, and soon I'll be on my own. I'm finally in the mix.
If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe to our channel, and tap the bell to receive a notification each time we post a new episode. We've got merch, like our 2019 Grow List poster featuring photos of 96 varieties we grew last year. We also have 7 Pot Club logo merch, plus other clever and quirky hot pepper related designs available in t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, stickers, magnets, and buttons. Visit 7pot.club/merch to learn more. And for even more 7-Pot Club, follow our daily exploits on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. For 7-Pot Club, I'm Rob.